You gotta promise to not tell anybody this. It's actually April 6th, 2025. Welcome to Vita. But I missed my opportunity to record last night. So, as far as anybody else is concerned, today is April 5th, 2025. Welcome to Vita. That's what I would say if I was actually recording on April 5th, which I am not. I am not. You may be hearing the rain on the roof of my house / ceiling. This is because I have a metal roof and it is supposed to be storming. However, I live in, I don't even know what, I'm damn near the twilight zone of Florida, because no matter what, I'm thinking about the past decade, whenever there's been a warning for storms, floods, anything like that, something that seems like really, really devastating, like the kind of devastating to where friends you haven't messaged online in years will like throw you a text kind of type deal, always misses exactly where I live. It either always barely passes it either always dies off the second it gets to my town. It's so weird. It's like this town is protected by God. I don't know who's living here to get that sweet, sweet treatment from him, but whoever it is, thank you. Water break. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Fanha, thanks for having a release, like little like pressure release thing on the top, so I can chug my water. Put it up a little higher, buddy. Okay, keep spilling water all over myself, and I'm not like a big chugger when it comes to water, but I enjoy a good chug, and I can't chug with this bottle. I like that it don't condensate. I like that. I put ice in this thing yesterday. It's still got ice in there. Like, that's good. I want to have a word with your engineer over there at them their factories. I would like one. I had to go inside my house to grab a cable for this mic. This is the Zoom H1N handy recorder. I don't actually know if it's called a handy recorder, but it's a recorder for your hand. I have it on a $25 Amazon tripod, so I can hold it like a mic. And it needs, I don't know what the proper name for the cable is. I've just been calling it the track phone cable, because I always knew track phones had it. It's the one where you look at it and it kind of looks like a little trapezoid, and it goes to old Android phones. That's the one. I never truly understood the real appeal of the universal standard of USB Type-C. I feel like now I do, because it feels so nice to just have a drawer full of USB-C cables, and you know for a fact all of them are going to work. The other day I was working with a monitor that had a barrel jack as its power input, and I had to go through like 4 or 5 of them just because they're all different voltages and all the picture was coming in funny. I was like, it would just be great if there was just one cable that did this all. And that's why I like USB-C. I like the idea of that. We're getting closer there than ever, which is pretty cool. I was never a big fan of the way that they're doing it, because it seems like there's so many different versions of the same cables. Like, some of them have certain data transfer speeds, certain power speeds. Never been my jive. I don't read numbers like that. That's for dorks. My philosophy, here's my little life hack for you. If you ever need a USB-C cable and or any other version of like a modern cable, I don't know, maybe we'll upgrade to another one soon. Doesn't feel like it, but it is possible. I always look up video game controllers. So for instance, I ordered the cable for this mic, the quote-unquote track phone one. I actually ordered the wrong one. I ordered PS4 cable because I knew it would deliver enough power and information to do just about everything that I would need it to do. I didn't realize that at some point in the timeline of PlayStation, the PS4 cables got updated to USB Type-C, so I ended up getting a USB to USB Type-C cable. Wasn't a fan of that. Had to look up a classic PlayStation 4 cable. but I got a 2-pack of those. This does everything fine. Mics, phones, that's about it. There's nothing really else that this cable goes to. Dying cable breed, and honestly kind of a dying microphone. No offense to this microphone, great little microphone. More and more I edit with it, and the more and more I put effort into making sure that this thing is usable. Just a little bit of white noise there. Sounds a little bit hollow. Obviously, I don't really care that much, but when I'm doing more polished projects, I'd like it to sound a bit more full. So I might be investing in a new mic for my birthday. You could hear the rain on the roof there. Birthday's this month. Quite excited about that. Just kidding. No, I'm not. Let's see. USB to USB Type-C was going to be my next topic, but I can't imagine anything more boring on this entire planet than just a 20-minute episode of me talking about cables. And obviously I would be totally down to do it if I was passionate about this, but I'm not really passionate about it so much as I just know enough about them to care. In recent news, a lot of people have been talking about the Nintendo Switch 2 and its prices. I think it's a very interesting topic of discussion. I have a stance on it that I haven't heard a lot of people take, which is that I actually completely defend Nintendo's pricing of their games. Not their older games, but their newer games. I personally completely understand why they would want to, and also why they think that they could charge $80 to $90 for a brand new video game. I actually kind of defend it because the logic is there and the logic makes sense. However, that being said, I will never in my entire life, for the rest of the time that I have on this planet, for the rest of the time that I breathe, will never ever spend anything more than $60 on a game, nor do I think anybody should. And if you do, I don't think less of you, but I do think that, you know, if you're a Donkey Kong fan and you've been waiting like 15 to 20 years for a new Donkey Kong game, and literally all you care about is Donkey Kong, I could see you spending $90 on one Donkey Kong game because you're like, well, this is my shit. But if you're the guy who's ordering a Nintendo Switch bundled with Mario Kart World and like 17 other games all at like full price, you know, I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm not saying you're an idiot. I'm not saying you're a Nintendo fanboy, but that's where your disposable income is going. And I feel like that tells me something about you as a person, about how you prioritize something as important and as frugal as money in times like these. They don't really feel that different now, do they? When you listen to all the buzz online, it feels different. You go to the grocery store, sometimes it feels different. Walking around your house, you don't really feel it, do you? I don't know. Am I shelled? Am I living under a rock? I feel like I'm a pretty active member of society. I don't really feel that freaked out. Get off of Twitter. That's my advice to you. Well, let me stop right there. Saying get off of Twitter is kind of like a hand-wavy answer at this point, and it doesn't stop people from getting onto Twitter. I will say, though, I'm not going to judge you if you still are on Twitter, if you still use Twitter, if you like Twitter. I think that's great. I have been off of Twitter for probably 6 or 7 months now. The only interaction that I have with anything on the internet, anything at all, I only go to 3 websites every single day. Discord, to talk with close friends. I'm not about that public chat, any of that kind of mess. It's not my cup of tea. YouTube, because I have a good chunk of music on there. I like to have my music offline and downloaded. That's just me. But there's some mashups that are still on there that I just haven't gotten a hold of yet. And Pinterest for images. I like looking at pretty images all day. Those are my 3 websites. That's it. I don't count Gmail. I feel like at this point that's like not even, you don't even really count that, like when somebody says like I went 60 days without using the internet, it's like, oh, I went on Gmail, so it's like it's not cheating. I don't even really count that. It's like checking your text messages. Like that's not like staying on your phone unless you're addicted to chatting with people, texting with people. Like I don't know, I can't really see that. Give me lots of white noise in there. I'm not getting rid of any of that. I'm sitting through it. Now you have to sit through it too. I spent $99 on these about, I'm trying to think about how long ago, a good while ago, on these Sony WH-CH 720Ns. I've been calling them the WH 720Ns and it sounds like a whip crack, so I've been calling them the whip crack 720Ns. Uh, Good little headphones for 99 bucks. You get some really decent noise canceling. It does wonders to getting rid of white noise. That being said, this rain, it's a little much, and I just wonder if I'm not going to spend $350 on headphones, but I would wonder how good noise canceling could be, because noise canceling technology fascinates me. As a kid who always grew up on Dollar Tree earbuds, I've always been used to experiencing music with the sound of a car window blaring in my ear, somebody talking over me, or conversations happening in the background, which I never really minded. It's just what I lived and grew up with. So the idea that popped into my head one day that I could experience music without any other noise pollution in my head, I was like, well, I've never thought about it like that. I've heard all these songs before, but I've never just heard these songs on their own before, like isolated. And that's when I got interested a little bit into noise canceling. I never fully delve into it. I tried, I'm like everybody else, I put on a pair of headphones at Best Buy and I go, wow, these are great. Not $350 great, but they're pretty great. So might save up for a nice pair of those. I think my limit would be probably, I can't imagine, like, I'm the kind of guy where if you tell me you spent $300 on a mouse, like for like a computer mouse, like, even if your job is like clicking, I'm like, what the fuck would you ever spend more than like 30 bucks on a mouse? Especially one that says 2 buttons, like what the fuck? But I don't know, there's some people out there who notice a lot more intricacies and nuance in mice, computer mice than I do. I'm not necessarily I'm not like an audiophile. I'm not necessarily somebody who ravages and loves audio quality and all that kind of thing. This has never been my deal. I just don't know, like, I'm like, I know when shit sounds good and I know when it sounds bad. I can never like I'm not the guy where I put on headphones and I cry. Song sounds good, it sounds good. If it sounds shit, I'll probably listen to it for long enough and just make it sound good in my head. Your brain does all the post-processing that you could ever need. So I would never spend probably anything more than $200 on a pair of headphones. But if these $100 pair of headphones are very good, they're very handy, long battery life, they charge quick. It is so loud in here. Decent noise canceling. If all you have running in the background is an air conditioner, maybe some rain, it could do really great for it. But it's so goddamn loud in here, it's kind of bleeding through. So I'm kind of wondering what $200 could get me. Not a rabbit hole I'm interested in falling down in. I know that there's like all these desktop amps and stuff like that. Those cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars for what? So your headphones can get real loud so they can power them. I don't know, man, just shit sounds fine. It sounds fine on Dollar Tree earbuds. It's just, it's nice to treat yourself. Yeah, nice to treat yourself, I guess. So that's another thought in my head. I know it's probably not aligned with the video right now, but I think I spent 30 minutes on this lady's high heels. I feel like I should throw that out there, just so everybody knows. Looking at my watch now, it says 11:38 p.m. I'm probably just going to record the one that's supposed to come out today, tomorrow. I hope I'm not a day late for all of these, but that might just end up happening. I don't know. I can't remember exactly how long it took me to draw this. But, I don't know. Sure is raining a lot. I've been playing a lot of Project Zomboid lately. Been quite liking that game. If you've never checked it out, it's like 20 or 30% more fun than it looks. I don't know, it's just like, this is just a lot to do. It's kind of hard to get bored because you're always maintenancing something, but it's not something that's really tedious. It's something that you're doing in junction or in competition with something else. The competition being what you could focus on or what your character could do at one time. I'm not a big managery kind of gamer. I don't like to look at little things and manage them, but Zomboid makes it fun, so I've been enjoying that. Yeah, I guess I'll save all the topics that I have for next time, so I have something to talk about.